Everyone, I know that you're starting your first day off remote, which isn't great. And for a lot of the year, depending on how things go with health outcomes, you probably are going to see me with a mask over my face. So I just wanted to take a minute and say hi. You get to see my face, you get to see my slightly discombobulated apartment. Um, and yeah, welcome to Advanced Environmental Science. We're going to call it ACE. See how that goes. And I'm just going to quickly give you some directions, give you some thinking things to think about for our meeting on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, during office hours, you guys are going to meet with me and talk about the work that you do today, which is going to be just a small sort of personal reflection, investigation on an environmental movement or crisis that you are passionate about, want to learn more about, or maybe you're curious about. So we'll talk about those directions in just a minute. So a couple things. We have Schoology. There's a couple of things you can start looking at. It's not necessary, but depending on your time, your interest, your curiosity, you can get a leg ahead, or you can wait until we cover these things. Welcome letter that's sort of geared to you and your parents. There's some information about the course syllabus, grading expectations, and how I sort of think about grading. We'll have lots of time to discuss that. We will be doing a lot of asynchronous notes where you're going to be looking at readings or textbook readings and taking some notes, and then using some online tools to help make sure that when you come into class, you're all set to go, so you can take a look at that. I'm organizing work within the APES calendar. I need to rename that to AES calendar, but also when we do have chapter notes, this is going to be the resource where everything's organized for you to find assignments. They'll also be in weekly folders, but it's a redundancy thing. Speaking of redundancy, I know a lot of your parents aren't huge fans of Schoology or finding information. So in terms of them feeling communicated or you figuring out what you need to catch up on if your Schoology isn't your jam, there is a website that I've created. And that website has all of the same information. Oh, yikes, it did not want to connect. I'll make sure that that works. There's always a technology problem. But that will be an option. And then this right here is going to be the class slides. So there will be slideshows that are small and very focused for when we're doing specific chapters, but this is more about like, what is the agenda? What's the in-class directions? What are we doing today? And that is something that you can navigate on a day-to-day basis. And then each week we'll have a folder. That folder, based on our calendar, will have assignments and links, and you will know which things you need to be looking at depending on which day it is. So just to give you an idea, today is your asynchronous day, so you're going to be working on your environmental movement. And you would know that because if you go to the APES calendar, you'll see that on Tuesday, if you're asynchronous, your objective is to talk about one environmental movement that you identify with. Tomorrow, you're going to meet with me in Google Meet. You're going to share what you wrote. We're going to discuss questions you have about the course. And then on Thursday, you actually get to come to school, and we're going to be going out into the school forest, and we're going to be starting to identify sites that we'll be doing a lot of different studies and experiments with. So this will be updated each week as we go. So it's another way to stay organized and to make sure that you understand what you need to be doing each day. So speaking about what you're going to be doing today, because I want to make this video short, each of you are going to be doing a formative assessment related to communication, and it's all about you sort of teaching me and maybe yourself a little bit about who you are as an environmentalist. Maybe you don't think you are, maybe you're a diehard environmentalist. Those thoughts and beliefs that you have might evolve throughout the semester. But there's a few things that I want you to do. First of all, this is the general format that I have for most of my assignments in terms of this sort of long title. There's some more explanations about that if you're curious. Usually a rubric, there's no target. This isn't really a graded assignment. I just want to see what you know and see what you're interested in. But usually this will say, where are we on the rubric and what am I sort of focusing in on in terms of current learning? So, to be succinct, because I'm going on for too long, you're going to be writing a few paragraphs. Again, don't spend more than 40 minutes on this, that you're going to be explaining some things to me using evidence, data, and specific sources. The first thing is I want you to describe an environmental movement. Maybe it's Greenpeace, maybe it's a local conservation group, or an environmental crisis. Think about the forest fires in California right now. Maybe you could talk about water quality in Vermont that you particularly resonate with or find interesting. And if you don't have one off the top of your head, I've given some resources at the bottom of the document to maybe help you find one. Once you've picked and started to describe your movement or crisis, I want you to maybe tell me a little bit about why you consider it really important to the planet or your own life, or maybe it's both. The third thing that I want you to sort of think about, and there's no wrong or right answer with this, is that there's 3 pillars that are going to guide our environmental studies this semester. One is thinking about environmental systems like life and nutrients, the forests, the mountains, the sky, all of the abiotic and biotic factors going around us. Human systems, think about economies, pollution, populations, energy, and then finally sustainability. Do these 2 things sort of mesh, or are they in conflict? Which of these 3 pillars do you think is the most important to understanding your problem and why? Again, I'm not looking for you to spend a lot of time on this assignment, about 40 minutes. You can use, and I would love to see images, graphs, flowcharts, or other things. And here are some sites that I think are credible, not biased, and pretty reasonable in terms of maybe finding a problem if you need help. Feel free to email me throughout the day if you need help. And have a great first day of asynchronous learning. I can't wait to meet you and learn all about you and go out and explore the world. All right, take care.